Hello, it's Father Matthew here. Just coming in as I normally do. I'm going to share with you one or two thoughts coming from the morning prayer that I said this morning. The first reading, the Old Testament reading, was from Exodus chapter 33. And it's often remembered because of the end, where Moses asks to see God's glory, and God says, you can see my glory, but not my face, because nobody can see my face and live. So God sort of covers him as he passes by and then allows Moses to see his back. But it's the earlier part of that chapter that I want to talk about today, because it talks about Moses setting up the tent of meeting outside of the camp, which is where Moses would go to speak with God, because the people were too afraid. Because God says, they were a stiff-necked people, and they were always going astray, and God wasn't very happy about it, so the people were afraid. And so Moses erected the tent of meeting, and Moses would go into the tent, and then the glory of the Lord would descend at the opening of the tent, and Moses would speak with God. And the thing about that chapter is that it also says that all the Israelites who were in the wilderness, when the glory of the Lord came down and Moses was speaking with God, and obviously God with Moses, that they would all bow down at the doors of their tents and worship at the doors of their tents. And it struck me that that's a lot like what we're going through now. Because of course, I'm doing masses and things like that every day. But of course, we're unable to do that together. And so those of you that do watch it, when I send the videos, that's what we're doing. I'm doing the service, but of course you're all worshipping in your own homes. And so it strikes me that this is something about a wilderness, something of a wilderness period for us. Like the Israelites were going through the wilderness, not quite sure where we're going to end up or how we're going to get there, but we're going on this journey. And but the important thing about wilderness journeys is that they always lead to something good. So, for example, Moses, when he ran away from Egypt after killing the Egyptian, he was on the run in hiding, looking after his father-in-law's sheep, and it's then that he discovered the presence of God and heard God speak to him. Or there are obvious examples like John the Baptist, or even Jesus himself, spending significant periods of time in the wilderness just before they began their respective missions. And there's something about that wilderness period which is a period in which many of the things that we normally enjoy are taken away, but it's a period in which we grow and in which we discover something more, not just about God and who God is, but about who we are and who we are called to be in God. And so it is my hope and prayer that during this period we too will discover something fresh and new of the presence of God, and something new and fresh about who we are called to be as the body of Christ, as Christians together. I still go through times when I think to myself, well, is there any point in doing the morning prayers that I live stream on Facebook, or the daily mass, or these videos, or this or that? And it would be easy for me to sort of just stop doing them, give up, and say, oh, I just can't be bothered today. Because, I'll be honest, I'm a human being. There are some days when I get up and I just think, oh, I've not got the energy or whatever else, but I do them. Because I think there is something important about this period. But in order for us to grow through this period, we do have to pray together in the ways that we can. We do have to continue to seek the presence of God. And so they're my thoughts for today. So look after yourselves and each other. May God bless you. Bye for now.